Title 4D of the Social Security Act is a federal program aimed at enforcing child support orders and ensuring that children receive financial support from both parents. However, some critics argue that Title 4D creates incentives for family courts to award custody to mothers over fathers in order to maximize federal funding. This article delves into how Title 4D influences custody decisions, the financial incentives involved, and the potential implications for family law. Title 4D was established in 1975 as part of the Social Security Act. Its primary goal is to enforce child support payments, ensuring that non-custodial parents contribute financially to their children's upbringing. The program operates by providing federal funding to state child support enforcement agencies, which then work to establish paternity, locate non-custodial parents, and collect child support. The funding model is based on performance. The more child support collected, the more federal funding the state receives. This structure is intended to motivate states to aggressively pursue child support enforcement. However, it has also led to concerns about how custody decisions are made, as custody arrangements directly impact who is considered the non-custodial parent responsible for child support payments. Family courts are responsible for determining custody based on the best interests of the child standard. This standard considers various factors, including the child's needs, the parent's ability to provide for those needs, and the stability of each parent's home environment. Traditionally, mothers have often been favored in custody decisions, a trend rooted in historical gender norms. Critics of Title 4D argue that the program's funding structure incentivizes states to assign primary custody to mothers, thereby designating fathers as the non-custodial parent who must pay child support. Since federal funding under Title 4D is tied to the collection of child support, states have a financial interest in maximizing the number of cases where support is ordered and collected. This dynamic can create a bias in favor of awarding custody to mothers, who are more likely to be seen as the custodial parent. Federal funding incentives and custody outcomes. The federal government reimburses states for a portion of the costs associated with child support enforcement under Title 4D. Additionally, states receive incentive payments based on their performance in establishing paternity, securing child support orders, and collecting payments. The more successful a state is in these areas, the more federal funds it receives. This creates a potential conflict of interest. If a state perceives that awarding custody to mothers will increase the likelihood of child support payments and thus federal funding, there may be a subtle yet significant incentive to make custody decisions that align with these financial interests. As a result, fathers who might otherwise be awarded custody could be disadvantaged in the process. Implications for fathers and children. The implications of this system are far-reaching. Fathers who are capable and willing to be the primary caregivers for their children may find themselves at a disadvantage in custody disputes, particularly if the state stands to gain financially from designating them as non-custodial parents. This can lead to situations where the best interests of the child are not fully served, as decisions are influenced by factors beyond the child's needs. For children, the best interest standard may be compromised if financial considerations overshadow objective assessments of what is truly best for their well-being. A system that prioritizes financial gain over the nuanced realities of individual families risks making decisions that do not serve the child's needs. Conclusion. Title 4D has been instrumental in ensuring that children receive financial support from both parents. However, its influence on family court custody decisions raises important questions about fairness and the role of federal funding in judicial outcomes. The potential for financial incentives to shape custody decisions in favor of mothers highlights the need for greater transparency and a re-evaluation of how federal funding mechanisms intersect with family law. Ensuring that custody decisions are made based on the best interest of the child, free from external financial pressures, should be a priority for policymakers and the judiciary alike. Again, I assert the problem with the father bias in custody battles is rooted in government policies influenced by feminists and communists going back to the Tender Years Doctrine in 1880. The goal has always been to destroy the family, financed and incentivized by leftist government. This is an election year, so use your vote wisely. As always, stay safe, stay strong, and stay vigilant. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.